What's up, nerds? All right, so your back hurts. It doesn't just hurt, it fucking hurts. It hurts so bad. It has limited every single thing that you do. So, what is it natural to think? You think I'm broken, right? I've been there. I've had clients, many clients that have been there, okay? I think I'm broken. My back is broken. It's fragile. It's weak. It can't do what it's supposed to do. This is such a common narrative that I see in my practice day in, day out. We know that backs are stronger than we give them credit for. But why is this a problem in the first place? Like, our culture teaches us that our backs are fragile. It teaches us things like, well, you have to lift properly. You have to bend at the knees and lift properly or you're going to blow a disc out the back. It teaches that we have to worry about every single movement. One wrong movement might just put things back again. So if our backs are not doing well, if we're feeling like things are just really killing us and just not able to do the things that we want to do, our tendency is to be like, well, I have to avoid the pain at all costs. And the problem is that isn't how backs work, not even with a back injury. And not even, actually, with a back injury that has very significant structural findings. So if we look at, like, an MRI, for example, and we see that there are changes, right? We see changes and the level of the discs in the low back. We might see herniations or bulges or, any of these things. We might even see some compression on a nerve of some sort because of a herniation. These things can happen. Very true. And these things can, at least at the beginning of the course of an injury, can cause pain. But healing often happens sooner. Healing often happens before everything is fully recovered from a pain perspective. But pain is supposed to go away. That's the problem. Pain is supposed to go away, but not if we need this message of protecting our backs. Well, what about core stability? I've got to do my core stability work. And if I don't do my core stability work, my back pain isn't going to go away. Or my hip flexors are tight. Or my posture is bad. All of these narratives create protection and guarding. That protection and guarding is one of the biggest challenges based on what we know of in clinical practice and what we know from the research evidence. That protection, that guarding, is literally what sustains the symptoms. The thing to remember about pain is that pain and damage are not correlated. There is a very poor relationship between how much damage you have and how much pain you have. So I'm not saying I don't care about your damage, because I do. If you have some MRI findings, I want to know about them. I want to know, can you do the things that you want to do? I want to do a physical assessment. Do I see something that's significantly wrong? These are important things. But they don't explain pain. And that's the problem. That is the problem with the way our culture and our society tells us that we need to worry about pain. If it's painful, don't do it. Yes, there's the opposite side. There's the no pain, no gain philosophy and that's out there. And that's a bodybuilder kind of thing. That's not really what I'm talking about. I'm not talking that you have to have pain in order to recover. But what I am saying is that often we actually want to think about, well, are we doing damage when we feel pain? And if the answer is no, then pain just becomes a protective alarm. It's just an alarm to say, hey, watch out. But that alarm can become sensitized. That alarm can become to the level where you literally are worried about every movement. Every movement becomes painful. Now, this isn't in your head. This isn't something you've done wrong, something you've thought of improperly. This is basically how the nervous system creates our symptoms, based on, is there threat or is there safety? And if there is threat in any way, whether the signals are coming from elsewhere because of a chronic nervous system dysregulation or sympathetic hypervigilance, something along those lines, you've heard me talk about those things before, could be from that, or it could be from signals from the body. But Our brains aren't particularly good when we think of our predictive reactive brains, our survival brains that dictate what the nervous system is doing. They're not particularly good at doing the fine reasoning. It's prediction based on best available evidence at the time. It's not thinking through it logically. That happens in your prefrontal cortex. That happens after the signal has reached your limbic system. When it reaches your limbic system, that signal from your body, it already is making a determination. Is it good or is it not good? Is it safe or is it a threat? And in the case of damage, should it be painful to try and protect it or not? But that can be misinterpreted. That can be completely blown out of proportion in many cases by the nervous system. Not you. Not you as the human. You're not blowing things out of proportion. I believe you. Your symptoms are real. This is not something you've made up or something that you're doing wrong or you're just not strong enough. All of these things. What this means is that your nervous system has created a habit loop and a memory loop around the symptoms coming from your back. So if that's the case, and it's been months and months and months and months, we know that the vast majority of healing at the tissue level has already happened. And you might still have some tightness. You might still have some weakness. You might still have some physical findings. But the actual reason the injury was there in the first place might not be the reason the pain is there now. So when we do this work, what we have to do is we have to think about, well, what does that actually mean for me? Where is my pain coming from and why? And so this is where we start looking for evidence. We start looking for pieces of evidence that the pain isn't purely because of damage. Why does it hurt sometimes but not others? Why does it feel okay when I sit down at first, but then after 15 minutes it starts hurting? Why can I bend over in some situations but not others? Why does it get worse during the day? Why is it worse in the morning? Why is it better when I'm sitting on one chair versus another chair? Why is it better when I'm wearing one pair of shoes over another pair of shoes? All of these things can provide evidence that this is the nervous system's interpretation of what's going on. Very real, creating very real muscle tightness, guarding, and protection, and pain. But it doesn't have to be the way that it is. We can retrain this. We can do things to build our body's capacity around the current situation. So sometimes that's reducing pain. Sometimes that's reprocessing the pain signals and teaching our reactive brain and our nervous system what the more appropriate reaction should be. And sometimes it's feeling a little bit of pain while we're doing something in a safe way and building our capacity and our resilience to that. And so I think good quality pain care is both things. It's processing and reprocessing pain, but it's also about building resilience around the current situation. So I often get asked, what does recovery look like? This really is a combination of things. It's about a gradual return to the normal things of life. When it feels safe, when it feels capable, when your back feels like it's sort of, you get this evidence and you kind of feel like, okay, I get a sense of it. It's still painful, but I kind of know exactly what's going on. And sometimes that takes a little bit of time for the nervous system to be able to respond in that way. But it does mean doing some bending, even if it's a little bit painful. It does mean lifting things again, even if it's a little bit painful. But we try and reduce a lot of the fear and the fear adjacent things that come along with it. The fear adjacent things are things like avoiding. You might not feel like, oh, I'm afraid of my pain, but you do avoid certain things to prevent pain from coming on. And so this is one of the things that we look at targeting. This is one of the things that we approach. We want to start thinking about how do we bend and how do we move without overthinking it, without planning it through from start to finish, just like planning your day from start to finish, just to make sure that you have enough breaks in there to let your back recover, so to speak. Okay, that's nervous system. That's nervous system recovery that we're really talking about, not structural recovery. So let me just challenge your thoughts here for a minute. If your back was truly fragile, how would we as a species make it as far as we have? That's always the question I come back to. We are not fragile as humans. We are resilient. We have built bodies that are capable of withstanding lots of different things. The problem is we don't know that. The problem is our society is built for convenience around us. Our bodies don't become weak and fragile. They become less capable. And so what we can do is we can build that capacity, but that capacity has nothing to do with injury. It has nothing to do with damage. So our backs will heal. Our tissues will heal. Any arthritis, any disc bulge, any degeneration, all of these things are not something that we need to specifically worry about. We do an assessment, we rule out really bad things that are happening, and if they do need care, medical care, then we send them to the appropriate specialists. But before that, we have a look and we determine, is this really something that's necessary? And if it's not, we know that resilience can happen. We know that we can reprocess the symptoms and we can build that resilience. Often that means targeting the nervous system along with its connections with the rest of the body. So it's not just about stress. It's not in your head. It's about the safety that your body feels. And your nervous system is the thing that feels your body. So it's safety in your body by teaching it that it can do these things. And it needs evidence. So we don't start by lifting 300 pounds, right? We start with, what are you capable of doing right now in a way that feels like it's safe? And I don't mean in perfect technique. I don't mean with the perfect scenarios. Just, does it feel safe? How do we do this in a safe way and in a way that isn't jumping from, I have never lifted before, to lifting 300 pounds? Okay, so we do it in a slow, progressive way. But the target isn't muscle strength. It's not the right technique, the right posture. The target is safety and gradual progression and exposure to these higher challenges and demands. It's a different way of thinking about things. It's a different way of thinking about our bodies that might be different than the narrative you've heard before. So my message is, if you're in pain and you're not sure, you're thinking, I don't really know. I mean, I'm in pain. It hurts when I do certain things, and I'm not really 100% sure about this. This is your opportunity to join my new mind-body pain solution program. This program is designed for you. It's designed for the person who has some uncertainty around their body, has some uncertainty around their pain, has some uncertainty. What can I do? What can I not do? How do I know? Is it my nervous system? Is it my body? Is it my back? What is it? How do I approach this? Do I have to just suffer through the pain? Do I try and avoid it at all costs? How do I approach this? Typical treatment will give you some very specific set of exercises, but it won't cure the problem. It won't get to the root of the problem, which is how safe your body feels doing what it's doing. Because remember, pain doesn't equal damage. So in the program, what I do is I teach people how to relive their lives, how to reclaim everything in their lives that they've had to reduce, they've had to work around, they've had to change their life because of their symptoms. I work with people to help them make it so that they can relive their lives around their lives and what their lives are desiring to do, what they're desiring to do, not around the pain. So it's a lot of learning, it's a lot of doing, it's a lot of hard work. But if you're ready for it, that hard work can pay off because I show people how resilient they are. That is the main outcome that I get with my clients, and I want that for you too.